Very good morning to all my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you're looking good. Today is 15th July 2020 and day is Wednesday. First of all, I would like to thank all of you. Thank you very much, dear friends. You made 14th July 2020. That was my birthday. You made it a very special day for me. Your greetings, your love means too much, right? It's means I am overwhelmed, and honestly, right, I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it, but what happens is it's not about quantity. It's not about like how many people they have wished you. It's not about that. It's about the feeling, right? There are so many names. I don't know their name, but when I read their messages, then when I read their message for the first time, they are communicating, and when they say that they have been following this video lectures for a very long period of time, and they have seen a drastic change, and this gives a sense of satisfaction. This is one of the most beautiful feeling. No salary, no package, no money can buy this thing, you know. This is one of the most valuable thing I think I can remember. Means this is best thing. It's blessings from so many students, blessings from so many people, and you cannot buy blessings, right? You cannot buy this sort of things. These are the most precious thing. So thank you very much, right? Thank you very very much. I love you all. Thank you very much for your greetings. Dear friends, StudyIQ team has designed a smart course. Now, this smart course is for Civil Services Examination. It has been designed by some of the best faculties of our country. And dear friends, it covers pre as well as mains examination. And to find out more about it, download our mobile application. You can download the PDF of today's lecture from my Telegram channel. Follow me on Facebook if you are on Facebook, and you can send me your messages as well on Facebook. If you have any queries or anything, then feel free to ask. Please make sure that you share this lecture with other students. Hit the like button if you have learned something from today's discussion. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Dear friends, if you have already subscribed as well as if you have already clicked or pressed that notification bell, then can I request you guys to ask three more individuals, three more people to join our YouTube channel. If you can do that thing, that will be a very big, a very great help for our channel. On our table, we have articles from various different, important articles from various different newspapers. Let me tell you one thing. It's not about quantity. It's not about going through various different newspapers. That's not a big thing. The point where I am at present, right, after reading so many articles for so many years, right, this is not a hard work for me. It's like my second nature now. So going through 10 articles a day or more than that, it's not a big hard work for me. I'm used to with it. The reason why I have started going through so many various different newspapers is because I find so many important articles. It's not necessary that all articles that are published in the Hindu newspaper are important. Keep this thing in mind. I'm being very frank here, right? There are so many writers, good writers, like the first article. This article is from Indian Express, and this article is talking about one of the most important thing that our country needs, right? It is skill in our youngsters. Do you know who has written this article? M. Venkaiah Naidu, Vice President of our country. I am a big fan of M. Venkaiah Naidu. I used to take PIB classes, Press Information Bureau Analysis. I took it for nearly 1 year or more than that. So I have gone through his speeches. I have gone through his, written articles. And if you go through it, you will find that he writes in a very simple language, but he's to the point. He knows the issue, and he gives or he delivers some solutions as well. So you find this article in Indian Express, a big plan. This one is again from Indian Express. Then this one is about overcrowded jails, right? A very important topic, but we don't talk about this topic that much. This is covered by Telegraph. Then we have two important articles from the Hindu newspaper. One is Lost Opportunity, very important. It's about Iran and India's relationship, sending the right messages about COVID-19 and scientists. And it is talking about the realities of today's world, and then we have some news items. So the reason I gave you this big brief is because, dear friends, I want you guys to understand that if you go through multiple newspapers, it's okay, right, to feel confident. Again, it is not necessary that you have to read each and every article of the Hindu newspaper. It is not necessary that you have to read all the articles that you find in every important newspaper. Like Indian Express is a good newspaper, but that does not mean that you read all 6-7 articles that you find. It's for, you have to keep your syllabus on your table, right? You have to keep your question papers on your table. And then when you read and read and read your question papers and syllabus again and again, then you will pick up. Then a time will come when you will go through, when you will start reading an article or the main tagline of article, and then you will realize whether it is important for my syllabus or not. It's all about practice, and I'm here to help you out with that thing. Okay, so let's start our discussion. In fact, I have given you some important things about your preparation. So don't take that the video starts at 6 minutes, right? A video starts from the first minute itself. Okay. Now, this article is about skilling our youngsters. Today, 15th July 2020, is World Youth Skills Day. And this year's theme is United Nations celebrates this World Youth Skills Day. Our Prime Minister Modi is going to address the nation as well on today. This has been covered in the news item. And this year's theme, very important, skills for resilient youth. Now, if you decode, if you take a magnifying glass and put this magnifying glass on this thing, this theme, skills for resilient. Why we are using the word resilient? Because we are living in a very tough time at present, right? Post-COVID-19, I don't think so we are living in a post-COVID-19 age. What we are living in is post-lockdown age. And lockdown has destroyed our, or it has, I'm not saying destroyed is not the right word, but I would say it has acted as a speed breaker for our economy. Not just our, when I say our, I'm talking about the world, right? It has disrupted global supply chains, and it has affected livelihoods of millions and millions of people around the world. So in this challenging time, what we need our youngsters to be more resilient, right? We want our youngsters to be more flexible, if you know what I mean, right? They should be able to handle pressure. They should be able to handle change. Adaptability is one of the most important thing. And Prime Minister Modi gave a clarion call to make India self-reliant, right? One important thing that you should know about self-reliant is not about protectionism. Atmanirbhar Bharat is not about protectionism. They can ask you a question in your interview. What is the difference between America First policy and Atmanirbhar Bharat? Don't you think they are both the same? And you should be able to, distinguish these two policies of these two nations. Two objectives of Atmanirbhar Bharat that I want you guys to understand very well. The first one is for short term, right? What we need in short term, we want our economy to get back on track as quickly as possible, reviving different spheres of the economy in the short term. This is number one goal. Long-term run or long-term goal, the second goal is to build capacities across sectors and promote local products. What we want is we want to create good products, good quality products in our country. And the key here is, again, I'm not sure if you'll find it in any book or not, but these are the 2 points that if we can achieve these two things, then our country will become unbeatable. No one can match us. First is quality product or services, right? We need to produce top quality products or services. I don't have that much time to give you so many examples, but few months ago, I have discussed a special topic in daily financial news analysis, and it was about Switzerland. I compared this country of Switzerland with this Scandinavian countries. And, there was a time when Scandinavian, even today as well, you will find they are one of the, you will find them on top, top 10 nations in which you can live, right? Best democracies and best in everything. All good things are there. Switzerland was not that ahead, means it was not right at the top 5. But Switzerland is there now because Switzerland is not producing that many various different items, but whatever it is producing good quality products and services. So quality is the king, right? Quality is something that means no one can beat you if you can provide good quality. And the second important thing, which is easy to say but very difficult to achieve, but it's not impossible. It's challenging, but it's not impossible, and that is good quality products at reasonable price. If we can achieve this balance, then we will become unbeatable. So in long run, that's our goal, to create more good quality products. For that, we have to scale up our manufacturing. We need best infrastructure in our country. We need to attract investment. For that, we need good policy, good environment, and promoting a consumption-led growth. Now, note this thing. These 2 points that I have explained, I have not said anything about not buying things from other nations. So Atmanirbhar is not about protecting our nation from other countries. When I say protecting, I mean to say market. It's not about protectionism. It's not about isolation. It's not like we are not going to buy things from other nations and we are just going to supply things. This, if I say this thing, or even if Prime Minister or if any person says that our goal is that, then that is impossible to achieve. There is no nation in this world that can say that it is completely self-reliant, that will import zero and export all the things. That is not possible, practically possible at all. So what we can do is we can produce good quality of products as much as we can, and then we can offer these products at reasonable price. We can place it in front of the world, and automatically people will buy it because your products are good quality as well as reasonably priced compared to other competitors. So this should be our focus. USA's focus is USA's America First policy. It's not talking about reasonability. It's not talking about quality. It's what it is just focusing on is it's talking about not allowing others to come here and work, asking our companies to come back to USA, whether it will create loss or profit. It doesn't matter. It's all about nationalism. It's all about America First. So there is a big difference in it. Okay. The best thing that we have is not natural resources. The best thing that we have is not our location. I strongly believe that the best thing that we have in our country is youngsters. 50% of our population is below 35. 65% population is below 35. And 50% below 25. So 35, good, young. 25, general behavior. What is, most of you will be under 25, I believe, right? So what you guys need a new mobile phone. If someone can buy you, if your parents can tell you that every few months you can get a new mobile phone, then you will feel so lucky, isn't it? Then you guys need cars or bikes, maybe, or maybe new scooters, whatever. New clothes every season. Summer collection, you need new clothes. Winter collection, you need them. So what I'm saying is, it's not bad, right? Means if you can afford, and if everything is okay, then why not? It's not about quantity. Even if you buy one pair of jeans once a year, then as well it's okay, right? It's okay. It's all right. It's not about having too much. Whatever you have, you should be happy about it. So generally speaking, right, youngsters, they need a few things. They need new things and few things every few months. So that's consumption. If you have 50% of your population that is below 25, that is ready to spend, then whatever you produce, if good quality, reasonable things that you produce, then you have a big market in your country itself. And if you can produce some good quality things for other nations, then that's an additional advantage. But the thing is, we need to educate our youngsters. We need to skill them. Education is about degree, isn't it? Achieving a degree. That's okay. Most of our youngsters are nowadays educated. But the thing that I personally believe we lack is skills. And when I say skills, I'm talking about soft skills particularly, and then you need some technical skills. The need of the hour is upgrade the skills or upskill the youth. According to UN, Technical and vocational education and training (TVET) institutions are at present going through this lockdown, and as per United Nations estimated means as per UN estimate, 70% of world's learners are affected by school closures across education level. So skilling them is important because they have to adjust with this change. At the same time, institutions are closed, so it's going to be a bit challenging, but there are various different platforms, online platforms, through which we can train our youngsters. Now, let me tell you one of the most important thing. I have a little bit of experience in working in various different organizations, right? I have worked in a very tiny organization. I have worked in one of the biggest company in Europe as well. And now I'm working with a very big platform, StudyIQ, right? So I have worked with various different organizations with various different culture, very informal culture, very formal culture, very big company, very small company. And what I have learned is that it is always your communication, it is always your listening skills, right? Your degree is okay. If you have a good degree from good university, it's okay. It's good, but it's not always necessary, particularly in today's world. I have seen people, they don't have that technical knowledge, but they are head of big IT cell or department. The reason is they are like Fevikwik, they are like Fevicol, they are like gum. They are like magnet. They will keep everyone together. So this is not their technical skill, this is their soft skill, their leadership, their listening, their communication skill. Cross-cultural sensitivity. If you are working with various diverse people from various different culture or various different states or maybe countries or religion or economical, etc., you should be able to communicate, listen, cooperate with them, right? Being very calm is, when I say calm, I mean to say that internally you should be very balanced. Social etiquettes, emotional intelligence, these are most important thing in today's world. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, cloud computing, Internet of Things, these are all things that we are not expert in at present, but we will learn it. These things are, we can easily learn it, and for that we need to have this attitude, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can. This is a very positive attitude. In today's world, this is the mantra that our youngsters should adopt. That yes, I can, or yes, we can. Because it is all about change. We are going to go through so many changes. It's like this artificial intelligence and all these things are going to be, a new upgrade. From computer, we are going towards new devices. Early on, there was a generation, they used to, work on typewriters. Then we have computers. Then we have new things. So we have seen changes, and now we have to adopt changes and adapt to changes. So human beings, human capital is one of the most important thing. If you have good, rock solid, highly skilled, highly educated, interpersonal skill in your youngsters, in your human capital, then nothing can stop you. No country can match you. If they have natural resources, it's okay, but human capital is above all. So this is a thing that we need to focus on, and this is the right time. So we need to scale as well as speed up everything that we are doing with our human capital. Moving on to next item, it's about Google investing in our country. Google said that it is going to invest $10 billion in our country in next 5 to 7 years. It's called Google for India Digitization Fund, operationalized through a combination of partnerships, equity, infrastructure, and ecosystem investments. So it's not just about Google expanding it's increasing its branches. Google will partner with many different companies. It will invest or buy shares of various different companies. It will create infrastructure, digital infrastructure, as well as ecosystem investment in our country. It is going to launch high quality, low cost smartphones to enable internet access in our country. It will penetrate even further, and it will provide various different products and services and education, health, agriculture. It's going to it is going to transform this micro, small and medium enterprises digitally. So this decision by Google indicates that India is a very attractive digital economy now as well as in future. Second thing, Indian and US firms are getting closer and closer with each other. And the third thing is that the world is split into two tech world. One is USA team, the other is China team, and India is of course in USA team because few days ago, remember that India banned 59 Chinese apps, keeping in mind national security. And so many countries are raising questions about Chinese apps and Chinese services and hardwares and security related issue. For example, USA has been USA has asked so many countries to reject ZTE as well as UAE, and UK was working with UAE, but now UK has declared that it is going to stop this purchase or procurement of new UAE equipment by its telecom operators after the end of 2020. The world is trying to reconfigure supply chains, and this is not going to happen in short term. It's going to take place in long term. No company will stop their production from today and start looking for another location from today, right? It's going to be very gradual. It's going to be very incremental. So step by step, maybe few companies will do this thing that they will have one production center in China and one production center in India. Maybe some of them will have multiple production centers. Some of them will gradually shift their production center from China to India. So it's not going to be that quick. It's going to be in long term. So what we need to do is this incremental shifting is an opportunity as well. Incrementally we need to change our policy, speed up our things. India is still not doing that great. In terms of rank we are doing okay, but in terms of reality, ease of doing business is not that great. So this is a very wonderful opportunity. If we can adapt as a country, if we can upgrade our skill as a country, then we can grab these low-hanging fruits that are available. Now, this topic is very important from a fundamental right point of view. See, in our country, 68.5%, if you want to remember this figure, then let's say 70% of all the people who are behind the bars, right, they are under trial. That means it's not proved yet that they are guilty. So if it is not proved that you are guilty or if you have done something, then how come you are behind the bar? Behind the bars, that means in prison basically. So this is unfair. This is this is violation of human rights. This is not fair at all. And top judges, Supreme Court, High Courts, they have said this thing many a times that under trials should be released, but these prisons are controlled by state governments, and there are so many police personnel. They say that these people should not be, they should be kept behind the bars. That's what their opinion has been for various different people. We find that pregnant ladies as well, they are behind the bars, and so many dissenters, many a times political prisoners, right? And there are so many people, they are not involved in serious offenses. They are behind the bars for some non-serious offenses, but still they are behind the bars for a very long period of time. Some of them you won't believe, but this is a reality. If the crime that they have conducted, that will throw you behind the bars for, let's say, 1 month, but these people are behind the bars for more than 1 year because their case is pending. So there are so many people, 70%, can you believe this thing, 70% or 68.5% to be precise, in our country, the prisoners are under trials. In April 2020, United Nations said that overcrowded prisons are ideal for spread of novel coronavirus, and that is right as well. So many prisoners have been affected by this coronavirus, and this is a test of government's attitude towards its people, right? Refusing to lighten the population of prisons exposes its belief in irrelevance of public health even in a pandemic. At the same time, it is also an indication that government is not that much serious about your fundamental rights, isn't it? Moving on to the next item. This one is about lost opportunity. Very important article. This one is about India and Iran's relationship. Now pay attention here. Afghanistan is a landlocked nation, and this port here, this is Chabahar port. This port is in Iran, and this port is developed by our country India. It was signed back in 2003, and this Chabahar port is a symbol of India and Iran's traditional relationship. I'm sure if you go back in history, then you find that both these nations, we have so many things in common, like basmati rice, right? They have this biryani type of dishes, and then we have naan khatais. They are basically from Iran, and there are so many things, right, common. They used to come here and work here, and traditional relationship as well is quite great. And so far things were very, relationship was, I won't say that Iran was our best friend, but I would say a very good friend of India, and so was India for Iran. But in recent past, India's behavior has created a distance between these two nations. Now, this Chabahar port is important for India and Iran's business as well as relationship. It is a sort of, exit as well as entryway for Afghanistan. Now, we have Pakistan here, so direct road from India to Afghanistan is not possible. Airways is very expensive and very limited, so waterways, and then from here, Mumbai to, let's say, Chabahar, and from Chabahar via roadways and railways, you can cater this whole Afghanistan, and Afghanistan can sell its products to various different countries via this Chabahar port. So it was important for this three nations, Afghanistan, India as well as Iran. Okay, not limited to that, it is also a very important point for International North-South Trade Corridor, INSTC, International North-South Trade Corridor. So the traditional route is from here, you can see Arabian Sea, Gulf of Aden, Bab al-Mandeb, then Red Sea, then Suez Canal, Mediterranean Sea, then this one is Gibraltar, then North Sea, then English Channel, North Sea, then all the way here to then Baltic Sea, and then you reach St. Petersburg. So it's a very lengthy, route, and you can shorten this route if you come here. So from, let's say, Chabahar via Iran, then you reach here, this is Caspian Sea, Baku and all those places, then this here, this Central Asian nations, and then you can get good connectivity with the Central Asian nations, and then Moscow or Russia. So this is a very shortcut, right? Chabahar is important for this whole international north-south trade or transport corridor as well. Now, the reason why we are discussing this thing is because back in 2016, Mr. Modi was there in Tehran or Iran, and he was there with Hassan Rouhani and Ashraf Ghani, and so many things were said about this project. And we have started using this Chabahar port. I still remember when Nikki Haley, she was United States of America's permanent representative to UN, and when she arrived in our country, India, she talked about she came here to pressurize India to not buy oil from Iran, and that at that point of time, India was able to convince USA that Chabahar port is important for us to help Afghanistan and other things, and we got a green signal from USA about Chabahar port. But then as well, we are afraid of American penalties. This IRCON this is an Indian railway company, was going to undertake the construction of $1.6 billion worth railways. But now, so far it has done nothing, and Iran is not happy with this thing. So Iran has said that we are going to start this thing by ourselves. We don't want to rely on you guys, because you guys have been talking and it's been ages now. So we are going to go ahead with this construction of this railways or this project. So this is basically a lost opportunity for our country. We have stopped purchasing oil from Iran. Now, buying oil from Iran is beneficial for our country because we supply them rice, we supply them medicines and so many things. So it was like a barter system, and whatever money that we owe them, we used to give them in rupees, Indian rupees, and they used to take it. They used to take Indian rupees. They were not demanding for dollar. So it was a deal that was very, very, you can say, beneficial for our country. But coming under pressure of USA, we have stopped purchasing oil from Iran. And this is from Iran's point of view. This is cheating. And now Iran is Iran used to trust India, but now that trust is gone, and it's going to be very difficult for India to win that trust of Iran. And this also raises question about strategic autonomy of our country. And our loss is China's game. China is working very closely with Iran at present. On your screen, you can see this 2001 IAS officer. He is Vijay Narain, and he was municipal commissioner of Ahmedabad. Now he was removed because his work was, as far as I know, he is a very extraordinary officer, and he works in a very clean and transparent manner. And he was removed. It is said in Ahmedabad Mirror, a newspaper, it was said that Vijay Narain is paying for CM Vijay Rupani's mismanagement of COVID-19 situation in the state of Gujarat. And this is not a very rare thing. Miscommunication has rocked numerous aspects of response to COVID-19. And we find political interference in when scientists are giving some loud and clear messages. We find political interference. They are being said not to do, or their transfers will be done just to give a good impression about their leadership. There are so many people, they wear masks, but it is for show off. And I find so many people, right, they are wearing masks, but they lack this mask etiquettes, that if you touch your mask with your dirty fingers or with your dirty hands, then it's not going to give you any protection. We need to create this awareness that asymptomatic cases are everywhere in the world, in our country and so many other places as well. But still people are not taking it that seriously. The reason is only because lack of awareness. This article is saying that the worst possible communicators of vital information during COVID-19 is Mr. Trump. He said, he talked about bleach, and there are few people, they drank bleach. Can you believe this thing? Mr. Trump was spotted having a disagreement with medical experts, who shared the stage with him during daily media briefings. So this is irresponsible behavior. And one more thing that I want you guys to understand is that there are powerful groups, right? Like when it comes to climate change, there are so many companies, oil marketing companies, they are literally giving money, they are literally giving advertisement, and they are giving money to politicians and powerful leaders and celebrities. Not just oil marketing companies, car companies as well, they are also doing the same thing. Not all, but few, of course. They are cheating. They are cheating this emission level test. They are bribing emission officers, and they are creating this campaign that you need to buy this cars. And same thing goes with tobacco industry, alcohol industry. They do the same thing. U.S. Koch brothers, the Koch family foundations are reported to have spent $125 million to finance 92 groups that have attacked climate change science and policy solutions from 1997 to 2017. You might have heard about this thing, that many leaders, they don't believe, the politicians, they say that climate change is not real. Like, for example, a few years ago, Mr. Putin said that climate change is not taking place, so what is this? This is not him. This is the money as well as influence of all that companies that are behind his politics or behind his government. What we need is proper, transparent clarity. And if a government is sharing real data, then this will create faith and confidence, and people will act accordingly. If you share fake news, if you create this fake confusion, that is not going to help people. It is going to confuse them more, and they are not going to take your advice seriously. So communicating is very important, and it should be real. It should be without bias. And scientists will not care about your election cycle, right? Science will not care about your election cycle. Politicians, they have to. I'm not saying every politician, every political party in this world, but we find their influence, And this is a reality. There are few countries like New Zealand and Southeast Asian nations. They have done quite well because they have not stopped scientists. In fact, they have listened to scientists, and they have put their advice into practice. And that's everything. News items. World Youth Skill Day is being celebrated today. Prime Minister Modi is going to address the nation. Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan is going on in 116 districts of various different states. Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog is going to sponsor 30, or it is going to support 70 startups. And these startups are going to provide innovative ideas about or fighting COVID-19. We have talked about this thing yesterday in detail, and then I have last few news items like ECOSOC. So what is this? This is United Nations Economic and Social Council. Prime Minister Modi is going to address this council today, and Mr. Trump has passed a bill that will impose a sanction on Chinese officials. And that's everything in today's discussion. Thank you very much, dear friends. Again, thank you very much for your blessings and well wishes, and God bless you all. I'll see you soon with daily financial news analysis. Jai Hind.